Hi everyone, my name's Kate and today I'm going to be showing you how to create these beautiful daisy wall decals. I'm also going to be showing you a way to brighten a space if you don't want to stick decals directly onto your wall. So if that is something you're interested in, please just keep on watching. Okay, so to get started, you are of course going to need some materials. So I am using some removable vinyl today. These 4 colors here all came out of a vinyl pack. This is what the label looks like. It's just a premium vinyl, removable matte vinyl pack. So this came with a whole range of different colors, but I've just selected these 4 for today. I'm then also going to be trying out the smart vinyl. So basically, for those of you who aren't familiar with smart vinyl, it's a vinyl that you can insert directly into your machine without having to use a mat, which I absolutely love because if you've used a Cricut before, you will know that the mats can be a little bit fiddly sometimes. You are then of course going to need a Cricut. I'm using my Cricut Maker 3 today, but you can definitely do this with the Explore or the Joy as well. And you are also going to need access to Design Space. I'm using my laptop today, but you could use your phone, iPad, desktop computer, whatever you've got Design Space on. I did also mention that I would be doing a version of this if you didn't want to stick the decals directly onto your wall. So if that is the option that you are going for, you are also going to need a photo frame of some sort. I just picked this one up at my local op shop. So once you're ready to go, you want to jump into Design Space and look for this project. It is called Daisy Wall Decals. You can either find it by searching in the project section, otherwise you can find it on my profile. I will try and leave a link in the description down below as well. So as you can see, we've just got 5 flower decals here, all in different colors. If you only wanted to do, 2 or 3 colors, that's fine. You can just go in and delete the ones you don't want. If you do want to go in and change the colors in Design Space, you can click on the daisy you want to change, ungroup it, and then you'll be able to go in and change the color if you wish. But today I am sticking with this color palette, which is the colors I showed you before. You can also click on each individual daisy and resize it if you wish. I have gone with about 17 centimeters by 18.7 centimeters. It is slightly higher than it is wide, as you can tell by the measurements, but that is the size that I'm going with. Please feel free to resize if you want. If you are going with the option of using the frames rather than sticking the decals directly onto your wall, then you will of course need to go in and resize your daisies to fit the frame that you're using. But for now, I am going to be sticking these directly onto the wall, so I am leaving them this size. Once you've done all that and you're ready to go, we're going to go up here to Make It. You'll then be able to select whether you're using smart vinyl or if you are using vinyl that requires a mat. I'm going with smart vinyl for now because I can see that orange is my first color and the orange vinyl is one of the smart vinyl colors. So I'm going with the smart vinyl. You can change this later on if you're using a mixture like me, and I will show you how to do that. Then you just want to go to continue. And you will see here that we've got all our different daisies sorted into different colors. So first up is the orange. So we are going to load our orange smart vinyl into our machine. If you were using a mat and you accidentally selected smart vinyl, or you are using a mixture of products like I am, you would just go over here to material load type and click that drop down menu, and then you can change it to on mat. So loading the smart vinyl is super easy. As I said, no mat required. You are just literally loading the vinyl directly into the machine. Once you've loaded your vinyl into the machine, you're going to go down here to continue. And then we are going to select our material. So for me, I am using smart vinyl removable. And then we want to make sure we've got the correct blade loaded into clamp B, which I do. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and press the load button. Once that's ready to go, we're going to press the flashing go button, and now we're going to begin the cut. Once that's done, you can remove your vinyl from the machine and move on to the next color. So the next color I'm going to be using is this brown, and this one does require a mat. So I'm just going to go ahead and repeat this process until I have cut out all my flowers. So whether or not you're using a matte or smart vinyl, you'll just repeat these steps until all your flowers and the center of the flowers have been cut. Once you've finished cutting everything, you can then go ahead and start weeding. So if you're not familiar with what weeding is, it's basically just getting rid of all the parts of the vinyl that we don't want in our design. So for these daisies, it should be super easy because we're basically just getting rid of the background area, and then we will just be left with the daisy design. So I'm going to go ahead now and weed all of these, and then I will meet you back here and we can start transferring them onto the wall. So once you've finished weeding all your daisies, we now need to go in and add in the center circles. So there are a couple of ways that you could do this. You could use transfer tape if you wanted to transfer the centers onto the daisies, or you can just go in with your hands and eyeball it, as I like to call it, which is what I'm going to do because, you know, it's a pretty basic task. So I'm just going to go in with my hands and just apply the centers onto the daisies. I just wanted to mention, as you can see here, I do have a bit of a bubble happening. This just happened when I removed the vinyl from the mat, but if you have experienced this same thing as well, I just want to let you know that it won't matter because once we put the decal onto the wall, this will all flatten out. So if you do have a little bubble, don't stress, it will all go away once we apply it to the wall. I am going to be using some transfer tape to transfer the decals onto the wall. You don't have to use transfer tape if you don't want to. You could just peel them off and stick them on. I like to use the transfer tape just to make sure that they go on nice and smoothly and that all the edges are going to remain stuck down, because if you are just using your hands to stick them on, you may find that because you're touching underneath slightly to be able to hold on to it, then that area of the decal will lose a little bit of its stick and it may start lifting. So to apply the transfer tape, what you want to do is measure how big your decal is and then cut the transfer tape to size. You then want to remove the backing from your transfer tape. And apply the tape directly on top of your decal. I'm then just using my scraper to go in and make sure it is all nice and stuck down and nice and secure. And you will be able to reuse the same piece of transfer tape over and over again, so don't throw it out. Once you're done, you can reuse this same piece of transfer tape for the next daisy. You may even be able to get away with using the same piece of transfer tape for all 5. Once you're convinced it is all nice and stuck down, we can then remove the backing from our decal. And now we're ready to apply our decal to the wall. So here I am applying the decals to my wall. I'm just going in with my scraper and making sure all the edges are nice and secure to the wall. and then we just peel off the transfer tape and the decal should be left behind. If you find the decal is lifting when you are peeling back your transfer tape, just go back in with your scraper and focus on the edges to make sure that they are nice and stuck down. And then I'm just repeating this step over and over until all my decals are on the wall. Well, there we have it, guys. All my decals are now on my wall. I absolutely love how they look. I think this is such a fun way to give new life to just a boring old drab wall. I am probably going to go in and add some extra ones just to fill in some of these gaps and maybe try some smaller ones as well, just to give it a bit more of a scattered effect, I suppose. But that is how it's done. So easy, and it's already brightened this space so much. I can't wait to add some more. But now I'm going to show you another way you can jazz up a blank wall without having to stick decals directly onto the wall itself. So if that is something you're interested in, just keep on watching. Okay, so what you're going to need for this project is a photo frame. What size you use is totally up to you. You're then going to need some cardstock, which I have used to get this background color. So basically you're just going to take the cardstock, cut it to the size of the frame and insert it into the frame. And then using the same daisy decals from before, I just went into Design Space and resized them to make some smaller ones, and that's what we're going to be using for our frame. I've then just got some transfer tape because I am going to be using transfer tape to transfer our decals onto our frame. Now I'm just going to go in with my transfer tape and start transferring the daisies onto my frame. Now I also just want to mention that you could definitely just apply the daisies to the cardstock and have them on the inside of the frame. I'm choosing to do them on the outside of the glass purely because I find it reduces the glare. So the colors are a bit more vibrant, which is what I want. I want them to look as bright as possible, but if you wanted to have them on the inside of the frame, you could just use this technique and apply them to the cardstock instead. Once you've finished applying your decals, this will be your finished result. You can obviously add more or less daisies if you prefer, but I absolutely love this project. It's so quick and so easy and such a great way to brighten up any space without having to stick decals directly onto your wall. Well, that wraps up today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.